If you love sports, you probably already know about the incredible skills of mixed martial arts standouts Islam Makhachev and Alexander Volkanovski. Fans throughout the world are fascinated with Makhachev, a native of Dagestan, Russia, and Volkanovski, the current UFC featherweight champion from Australia. In the intensely competitive world of mixed martial arts, their amazing talents, passion, and great records inside the octagon set them apart. Sports fans had been salivating at the thought of seeing these two outstanding boxers square off in a contest. Given that it would have been a bit of opposing fighting methods against pure willpower, the result of such a match was hotly contested. With people betting on who would win, well, they got their answer soon. Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel where we dive into the world of sports. And today we're going to be talking about two of the most renowned names in the world of wrestling and their battles. Islam Makhachev and Alexander Volkanovski both squared off in the ring recently, with Makhachev emerging as the winner. How did the battle happen? What were the players' reactions, and how did the fans react? We'll tell you everything, so make sure you slam that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on bell notifications to be notified whenever we post new videos. Did you do it? Well, let's jump right in. Makhachev and Volkanovski faced a battle in the octagon that was much anticipated a long while back, with supporters anticipating the result from all across the world. The match was anything from typical. You may recall it as a fiercely fought fight in which Makhachev, who was trained by the great Khabib Nurmagomedov, who came from the esteemed Dagestan school, was recognized for his exceptional grappling ability. However, Volkanovski, who was well regarded for his hitting prowess, was heralded as the Australian champion. Now, what was interesting about their last battle was how different their fighting techniques were from one another. Makhachev's strategy was like a strong brick wall that didn't seem to be vulnerable to hits. Putting Makhachev down was a difficult feat, even with Volkanovski's outstanding hitting and ability to connect with a flurry of blows. Throughout the fight, Makhachev's strength on the mat frequently forced Volkanovski to submit, placing the Australian champion in a fairly dangerous situation. Makhachev almost put Volkanovski out of his misery in the opening round of that historic contest, but the bell intervened to rescue him. But Volkanovski never really seemed to be in a bad way. He was aware that maintaining the fight's standing position would allow his striking abilities to be fully used. Still, Makhachev's constant takedowns proved to be a formidable obstacle for the Australian. In the end, the judges decided in Makhachev's favor, but fans weren't happy about it. Makhachev had scored a lot of takedown, but Volkanovski had scored more strikes. It was a classic example of an immovable object colliding with an unstoppable force. Thus, it's fascinating to notice that when we fast forward to the present, Volkanovski was offered the opportunity to face Makhachev again. But because Charles Oliveira dropped out owing to an injury, he only got 11 days' notice. Volkanovski is not the type of boxer who ever really quits training, even with this little notice. Everyone's thinking about how this sudden change in direction could impact his performance. Fans were eager to see if Volkanovski's striking ability would again prevail against Makhachev's grappling abilities as they prepared for their rematch. The fighters were also hyped for this exciting rematch, since it looked like a close contest with no clear winner. And the rematch took place. The results of the title rematch between Islam Makhachev and Alex Volkanovski at UFC 294's main event painted an entertaining picture. After their first fight in February, these two fighters were already well known to each other. This time, the UFC Lightweight A Championship was at stake, compared to their previous fight, which took place in the home crowd in Volkanovski's favor. This one took place in the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi, and Makhachev was the one who shined. As the warriors got ready for battle, there was an obvious sense of anxiety. Makhachev kicked first with his inner leg, and Volkanovski kicked first with his outside leg. This fight would not be a slow burn. That much was obvious from the outset. Makhachev tried a takedown after attempting a high kick, but Volkanovski showed his defensive prowess by switching positions and putting Makhachev up against the cage. The competitors went into a clinch, and Makhachev threw a knee up the center during their wrestling battle. It was evidence of how fierce the competition was. The two competitors went back and forth in the clinch, each trying to establish their superiority. Makhachev made contact with his right hand, but it was his powerful head kick that sent Volkanovski to the ground that will live in the minds of the supporters. Referee Mark Goddard intervened to break up the fight when the follow-up punches were unambiguous. The UFC 294 event stood up to the hype with a wide variety of peculiar fouls and exciting finishes. Makhachev's supremacy was on full display in the title rematch, as he demonstrated his abilities once more with a vicious head kick knockout in the first round. Makhachev was supposed to play Charles Oliveira, but an injury derailed those preparations. He maintained his calm and control throughout the bout, taking advantage of low kicks and clinches to set himself up for the deadly head kick. Regarding his upcoming opponent, Makhachev tells UFC president Dana White that he's prepared to take on anyone and seems unaffected by it. However, Volkanovski, who is still the featherweight champion, expressed a similar view and expressed optimism for a speedy comeback when the cuts from this intense rematch healed. Fans are excitedly anticipating the next installment in this gripping competition as the story in the world of mixed martial arts, more famously known as the MMA, unfolds. Islam Makhachev made sure to thank and show his appreciation for his squad and the supporters before their eagerly awaited rematch. He used the occasion to honor the key elements of his journey during an emotional moment inside the octagon. Makhachev expressed his gratitude to his team for their constant commitment and support, saying that they had always been there for him to push him to his boundaries throughout training. He felt that their combined efforts had elevated him to the peak of his profession. Makhachev's remarks also revealed his closeness to the supporters. He made it clear that he thought of the arena, possibly in Abu Dhabi, as his second home. He stated that the fans were essential to his achievement and expressed his sincere appreciation for their unwavering support. Makhachev realized that his journey would not have been possible without their resolute support. Makhachev also expressed his affection and regard for Alexander Volkanovski, his opponent. In an act of pure sportsmanship, he recognized Volkanovski as a legitimate winner. He emphasized that it took tremendous work to overcome a foe of Volkanovski's quality, comparing it to turning on the light to achieve victory. Makhachev commended Volkanovski's tenacity, stressing that the Australian combatant was willing to go the distance and had unflinching dedication and perseverance throughout the fight. Fans' responses to Makhachev's remarks were not all that consistent. Makhachev's words of appreciation and deference for his team and the supporters probably struck a chord with a lot of people, highlighting the value of teamwork and support among participants in mixed martial arts competition. Makhachev's remarks, according to Volkanovski's followers, were evidence of the fighter's fierce rivalry and good sportsmanship in the octagon. So what do you guys think about this? Tell us in the comments down below. Make sure to share the video if you liked it, and we'll see you guys next time.